Michelle Collins. Don't think I have any announcement with no urgent item. If I draw your attention to item 5, Members' Declaration of Interest, and we'll go straight into item 6 now for the playing pitch strategy.
Thank you, Denise. So we're bringing the playing pitch strategy back. First came to Cabinet, I think, in 2016, and it was fully adopted. This review looks at all of our pitches right across the district. So it's, I think people think of football straight away, but it's not just football. It's tennis, it's bowls, it's rugby. There's a few different sports in there. And we're looking at the supply and demand of those sports, as well as the associated facilities. So it's not just about pitches. You'll see within the report that there have been a lot of achievements since 2016. We've managed to pull in £3 million worth of funding, from external funding I should say, which has been fantastic. We've delivered on 9 priority projects, and that's right across the district. Everyone will be very pleased to know, from Frickley to Upton, Thorns Park, Pontefract and Hemsworth as well. This report is going to provide a strategic framework for the next 5 years, so that we can continue to access that external funding and bring our pitches up to where they need to be. I think it's fair to say that across the country, local authorities are struggling when it comes to this aspect of council, of bringing playing pitches, especially football, up to a good standard for everyone that wants to use them. The really good thing is that demand is on the increase. More people seem to be playing football and other sports, and it seems to be happening more often, so that's fantastic for people getting involved and staying fit. One of our priorities though, when you have so many pitches and they are being used quite a lot, is natural grass tends to get run down very quickly, and so we do want to be able to deliver 7 3G pitches across the district that will help to keep those pitches fresh for longer and really take away a lot of that wear and tear on them. Just finally, a number of people have commented on the size of my report, which I agree is very substantial. There is an appendix in here which really summarises this huge amount of work into a very easy to read document, and we will be providing ward members across the district with a breakdown of what the demand is in their ward in particular and what our plans are to address that. So with that, Leader, I would like to move this report to Cabinet and ask them to adopt the recommendations set out in point 3, and I think it is option 1 that we're going with out of the 3 in there as well.
Thanks very much, Michael. I think it's a really excellent report, and it just sets out to the people of the district how much investment we are putting in to sport. I think it's been proved over the last 18 months how much people value what we're doing with the sporting facilities, and I think it's great that we've got a plan. I know sometimes I do ask you to deviate and bring some more football pitches in, but perhaps I'll better not do that in the future. Now you've come forward with a formal plan, but it's really welcome, really good news. Any comments from anyone? Margaret?
Yes, thank you, Linda. It's a great report. And it is vitally important that we get these pictures up to a standard. I'm just looking at agenda page 35 in relation to junior teams and youth teams. These are generating more young people coming into play. But having to use the adult pitches, I'm just wondering if we have a plan to provide more pitches for children and young people rather than the adult pitches, which, according to the report, adults tend to be fading away. We're losing adult teams, but the number of youth teams actually growing.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Margaret. I think it's so important that we do have young people being able to access these pitches, and you're right, there's huge demand within the older generation, but there's also huge demand in young people, and we want them to be coming up and having access. A lot of the facilities are mixed use, so they will have different time allocations for the younger clubs and then for the older ones. But all I will say at this point is that is definitely very much been identified as something we need to keep an eye on and something that we need to deliver for. and that it is being considered in this whole strategy.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, can we agree the report? Thanks very much. Item 7, delivering the public rented sector at Darren.
Thank you, Rita.
I'm glad to see this report here at last.
Well, this is one of two reports I should be bringing today. The first one is to update Cabinet on the Council's plans to accelerate the delivery of affordable housing in partnership with registered providers and to contribute directly to the delivery of public sector houses across the Wakefield district. And if you recall, when you became leader, this was one of the things that you wanted us to do. You wanted us to provide housing that was affordable, suitable and fit for the 21st plus century for our residents. And this plan will allow us to do that. So the purpose of agenda item 7 today is to outline how we're going to do that, working with our registered partners across the country and hopefully bringing some new ones into the district and or working with existing ones. And if you look at option 1, it goes on to say that this will provide accelerated and direct delivery of affordable housing, additional housing, delivering more affordable housing than the market would ever do. This will also maximise our council and assets and deliver an enhanced quality standards and assisting vulnerable people. This can be achieved by capitalising on the good partnerships we have with registered providers and also developing further contracts and relationships with other registered providers who are interested in developing their stock and investing further in the Wakefield district along the lines that we wanted to do when we first became leader. So with that, I would ask us that we look at page 267 of the recommendations, and we accept the recommendations of the chair.
Thank you for that. Any comment? Well, as you say, it was something that I wanted to do when I took over as leader and working with you all in Cabinet, and it's great news that we are moving forward with this. The delays of COVID, obviously, we weren't able to move as quickly as we wanted to, but now we're on the way, and I think it's good news for the people who are desperately needing homes across our district. So thank you, Darren, for bringing this report.
So the second report, item 8.
Can we agree? Agree, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The second is, so item 7 was the fine words that deliver our policy, and item 8 is actually getting on with delivering the policy that Denise has wanted us to bring forward. So this is about delivering public sector housing in the part of Wakefield district in South Kirby, in the Grove Drive area to be specific. This will launch the Council's public rented housing programme and enable the Council to secure enhanced standards of construction and specialist housing as well as control the pace of delivery. The development agreements would also include any buyback provisions should there be any unsatisfactory delays, if the registered provider fails to deliver the requirements of the development agreement or falls into administration. This option will help us, Wakefield Council, towards meeting the identified needs for the specialist affordable housing, and it will show the Council's commitment to supporting vulnerable residents across our district by the strategic land use that we currently hold at Grove Drive. This report goes on in quite some detail to what we're going to deliver on there, and it represents the first steps in our commitment to delivering its pledge towards more public rented sector houses across our district. And this will influence a number of good quality, new, affordable homes across the district as a whole on council-owned land. So with that, I move this report.
Thanks very much for that.
Yeah, I welcome this report. We've known across our district that we've got no real specialist housing for people with learning disabilities and mobility issues. When people are getting older and they're in 3-bedroomed houses, mobility goes, we really know where to move them on. We need to do more and more of this across our district. So I welcome the report and fully support the recommendations.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, can we agree the report? Thanks very much for that. The next item is obviously Michelle Collins' report, but Michelle being delayed, so I'll deal with it. This report seeks approval at the latest stage in the transformation of the coroner service for Wakefield and Leeds. The aim behind these proposals is to improve the stability and quality of services to justice and bereaved families. We already have one of the highest performing services in the country. In July, Cabinet approved the move to Merchant Gate, which will take place in 2022, giving a modern state-of-the-art facilities. This report proposes entering into a legal agreement with the police to transfer their responsibilities and staff with funding to the council so that the services can be integrated. This will make more efficient and responsive. Savings from this will be shared between the partners. It also sets out a proposal to recruit a second area coroner. This will reduce the use of freelance assistant coroners, again increasing efficiency and consistency. The savings on the area coroners partially offsets the additional costs. The funding for this service is split between Wakefield and Leeds according to population. The recommendations are in paragraph 10.1, page 100 of the agenda. Any comments? Are you all happy with that? Yes, it is, yeah. Okay. And then the last item is the financial health report. It's to inform Cabinet of the financial health of the authority in respect of 21-22. Fairly straightforward. Do you want to add anything, Neil?
No, I think it sets out in the report and table one in particular. So it's a £940,000 forecast on spend, and that's reflected across directorates. So the details set out in section 6 of the appendix.
Yeah. Thanks very much for all you're doing on this for